Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at how people feel after seeing you. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. We have 3 piles to choose from. So for pile number 1, we have the Crystal Howlite and the High Priestess. For pile number 2, we have this Petrified Wood with the Hermit card. And for pile 3, we have Carnelian with the King of Pentacles. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile, pick whichever one you are most drawn to. So hopefully by now you have picked a pile. If not, you can pause the video. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number ones. If you chose this Howlite Crystal in the High Priestess card, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at how people feel after seeing you. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you enjoy tarot content and if you want to stay up to date with what I post daily, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button. I also do have a limited amount of space for personal readings available this month, so if you'd like to book with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these tarot cards and see what comes up for you. So spirit guides of pile number 1, spirit guides of pile number 1s. How do people feel after seeing my pile number 1s? So we have the 2 of Cups. We have the King of Cups. We have the 4 of Pentacles. And the King of Wands, as well as the Hangman in the reverse at the back of the deck. So what I'm seeing immediately from this pile, a lot of you watching could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And what I'm just picking up here is when people are around you and then they go home, after seeing you, you have this type of energy that makes them think about you over and over and over again. Sometimes people have a tendency to ruminate over you, to obsess with you over you in their mind. I'm not sure why, but there's just something about your energy that comes through as quite intoxicating, I hear, where people just feel like they can't get enough of you. And a lot of the times, people, when they're with you, the reason why I say Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, you could have those placements is because whenever people are with you, they feel this deep emotional connection to you. It's sort of like you connect to them on a heart-to-heart level, and you connect to them on this deep level where they don't usually feel that close to people they just encounter all the time. And so there's something about them sort of getting emotionally attached to you. And then it's sort of like when they leave, when they go home, they just feel like they miss you and they want to see you again. And I do feel like people kind of cling to you and obsess over you. And even if they don't show it per se or tell you or anything like that, I do think you intuitively pick up on it with the High Priestess. When people think of you a lot, when people are always kind of like not just thinking about you, but daydreaming about you, things like that, talking about you, I do sense that. And then I see when they go home, they're kind of wondering, when am I going to see pile number 1 again? Like, I know I just saw them, but I want to see them again. So that's what I see with the Hangman in the reverse at the back of the deck. What I am seeing from Spirit is you can become someone's favorite person really, really fast. Because you just click with people on this emotional and soulful level. I don't think you are like this with everyone, because I think you are quite intuitive and empathetic. So because you're so intuitive, you don't connect on this deep level to everyone, because you know who's good for you and who's not, and who has red flags and who doesn't. But it's sort of like when you see a person and you see that their heart is good and you want to connect to them in a platonic way, romantic way, whatever it is, when they go home, even if they are friends, even if they want to become friends with you or are friends with you, and they go home and they have other people they're friends with, it's sort of like you become their favorite person. You become the person they want to hang out with all the time. And it's not like they want to ignore their other friends, but they're just so excited thinking about you and the next time they'll see you that they're sort of not thinking about the other people in their life. So there is something about that coming through. Believe it or not, it's sort of like they start to feel like their whole world revolves around you, but not in a negative way. I do think with the Four of Pentacles, this is describing what I said before. Like, people get very emotionally attached to you. Four of Pentacles, King of Cups. This to me is getting emotionally attached when I mix these two cards together. So, yeah, there is that energy. No matter how well you know them, even if they're just someone you just met that day and you connect to them on that deep level, they just feel so seen by you because you are so intuitive. So they just feel seen by you, they feel understood by you, and then they develop this deep emotional attachment to you, and then they sort of like hold on to you, become attached to you, cling to you, obsess over you. But most of the time they don't show it. They try to sort of act like their pride and ego gets in the way where they don't show it to you because they don't want you to think that they're like obsessed with you. Do you get what I mean? They don't want you to think that they're attached to you. So sometimes people may try to hide it by not texting you first, by sort of like ignoring you a little bit first to show that they're not so attached to you. I hope that makes sense, but not everyone will do that. I guess it's just people that don't want to show that. Also, there's something, like I said, about you making people feel seen, understood in a way that not many people have made them feel. Again, because you connect to people on such this deep, soulful, intuitive level, people also often feel like they can come up to you and tell you about their problems, about their deepest secrets, about the things they've been through in life. You just have this trustworthy, healing energy, a very pure soul. So people feel like you have pure intentions towards them and that they can trust you with anything at all. So oftentimes you'll find that people will tell you their deepest, darkest secrets. They'll tell you everything they've been through emotionally, and then sometimes you'll find that you get a lot of people do that with you, even strangers, and then it's kind of like they then feel this deep emotional connection to you even more because it's like, oh, pal number one gave me advice, they listened to me, they understood me. I have 5 friends that don't even listen to me, but pal one listened to me and they're a stranger. Do you get what I mean? Or it's kind of like they start comparing you to the people in their life where maybe you give in a lot of effort and you listen and you care, but then maybe they don't even know you that well, but then they compare you to people in their life that seem to not care. So there's something about that coming through where you make them feel like you truly care, even if you're not that close to them per se. And I think when you give people advice, it's very profound. People think you're very wise. And after seeing you, it's like they start to integrate that knowledge, wisdom, advice you've given them into their daily life. And then they feel very appreciative of that. And they always feel like when they take your advice, it always leads to good things. I also think that people feel pretty confident in themselves after seeing you. So maybe you're that type of friend that always hypes your friends up, that always loves to compliment people, even strangers. Like, you have this way of making people feel good about themselves, confident. So there's something about that showing up here. I feel like people that feel very misunderstood are very drawn to you because you understand them. And a lot of people are just in general drawn to your healing energy, to your pure hearted soul, your pure hearted nature. A lot of the times, people also feel this sort of, I don't know if I would say telepathic connection, but do you know what Spirit is showing me? I watched a reel, I, I don't know when, I think it was a long time ago, maybe a month ago, but they were saying something about how our brains, I don't remember exactly what they said, but our brains sort of connect. And then when you think of that person and they call you, your brains are connected. I don't know if I'm explaining it properly, but I think it was scientific or something. So there's something about, let's say, you think of them instantly in the moment and then they all of a sudden text you or vice versa. I'm seeing something about that where it's like we're connected intuitively, but not, I don't feel like you're like this. I don't feel like you have a telepathic connection with everybody. I feel like there are certain people you have that deep soul connection to where you almost feel like this is a soulmate, a kindred soul, or someone you just connect to on a deep level, someone you just feel like you click with. I don't feel like you click with everyone like that per se, but some people you do, and then they feel that with you. But then some people just feel like, okay, I think of you in the moment, and then you text me out of nowhere. Or I'm feeling sad, and now let's say you become friends with them and they're feeling sad in the moment, and you just all of a sudden text them, and it's like, how did you know I was feeling sad? Like, I'm getting that type of energy. I do also think a lot of people crush on you, whether you realize it or not, with the Two of Cups after seeing you. And a lot of the times it's because you're very beautiful first physically or very handsome physically. And they see you as a keeper, someone that's a catch, someone that they can hold on to for a long time. And it's sort of like they have this fantasy of you in their mind. Like Spirit is showing me romance books, like, you know, when you kind of create a fantasy of someone in your mind, not in a sexual way, but in a more romantic, dreamy type of way, they're kind of doing that in their mind a lot of times when they crush on you. But then sometimes they don't even show you that they're crushing on you. I hope that makes sense, but I'm seeing it. And maybe you'll sometimes sense, I think this person's attracted to me, or I think this person's secretly crushing on me, but I'm not sure. But they are. So I am seeing that. Sometimes people even go to lengths to hide that they're crushing on you because it's almost like they feel such deep emotions towards you that it confuses them because they don't feel this way towards everyone. And sometimes they don't even know why. It's just something about your energy that draws them towards you. You're very magnetic in that way, energetically. And they just can't put their finger on what it is that makes them want you. And it's not bad, but it's just like something about you. But it's not one specific thing, if that makes sense. I do also think with the Two of Cups, people feel loved, people feel liked by you after seeing you. Of course, if you do like them and you do spend time with them, I don't feel like everyone feels that way because that's literally impossible. Because I know for myself, there are some people I encounter that I don't like and I don't talk to them. So obviously, maybe for most people, it's like that where you're not going to get along with everybody or like everybody, but the people you do interact with and spend a lot of time with, they feel liked by you. They admire you. They start to either crush on you or start to want to form a relationship to you with the Two of Cups, a friendship with you, whatever type of relationship, but they start liking you or admiring you in some way or having some type of love towards you, whether that is platonic or romantic. And I don't think that love immediately starts, but it starts slowly. There's something also about people feeling like you have this dreamy goddess on earth type of energy. And if you're a man watching, just take it as resonates, but you give off type of vibe where you just make people sort of daydream about you a lot. And there's also just something about your energy that, again, is very magnetic, and you have a great fashion style too. And then people often think thoughts like, I want to be more like them in a way, not like copy you per se. Maybe you've had some people copy you, because I did feel in the beginning of your reading that some people can get quite insecure around you, not everybody, but some, if they're already insecure within themselves, because you seem to carry yourself with confidence, or at least to them. And then some people, the reason why I didn't say it in the beginning, because I wasn't sure what it was about, but now I understand. And then some people don't get insecure, but they sort of admire you and want to be like you, aspire to be more like you, because it seems like you're very mature. You are emotionally mature too. And the way you just deal with certain things in life inspires them. So let's say you're dealing with someone specific, and you and that person don't have a good relationship, and you handle it in an emotionally mature way, even though maybe on the inside you're like, this bitch, excuse my language, but I'm just feeling that energy. But you handle the situation with emotional maturity, and then other people feel inspired by that. Like, oh, I admire pile number one for the maturity. I would like to be more like them. So even if my example doesn't fully resonate, there's something about you growing on a spiritual level, you leveling up on a spiritual level, you being so connected to Mother Earth, nature, protecting the environment. Something like that's coming through for some of you. And also, when you don't like certain people, you know how to deal with them in a mature way. There's just something about the way you've grown spiritually that people sort of feel inspired by after seeing you. Because, like I said, you're so wise. It's like, how do you have so much wisdom? They're kind of pondering about that after seeing you. So, basically, to wrap this reading up, how people feel after seeing you. A lot of the times they do like you and admire you, feel very emotionally connected to you on a deep level. Sometimes they'll even crush on you. But a lot of the times people want to create and form relationships to you. They feel very attached to you. They have you running through their mind a lot. They daydream about you a lot. They want to see you again instantly or immediately. They make you their favorite person in their mind. You inspire people and motivate people and make people feel confident and better about themselves. But then some people, you may bring out insecurities. And then you just make people feel very drawn to you in a way where they don't know why, but they just want to be around you more. So this is your reading. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number twos. If you chose this Petrified Wood and the Hermit card, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at how people feel after seeing you. So the Hermit card originally came out reversed, but I just put it upright for the intro. So I'll read both meanings. We're going to be taking a look at how people feel after seeing you. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. Before we get started with your reading, I just have two things I'd like to say. If you enjoy tarot content and if you want to stay up to date with what I post daily, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to book a personal reading with me, I do have a limited amount of space available for this month, so you can find my email address in the description box below and email me there to book with me. So, when I tap into your energy, I feel like people don't want the day to end when they are with you. I'm now hearing a song. I can't remember who sings it, but it's like, I don't want to go home. I haven't heard that song in years, but that's coming through. I'm gonna try see if I can find it. If I can't, sorry, but it's sort of, I don't know if it's a club song or what, but It kind of has that vibe, and it's like, I don't want to go home. Yeah, I can't find it, but it kind of has like a trippy, clubby vibe to it, the song. So maybe with me hearing that song, you make people feel like they're having a lot of fun whenever they're around you. Even if you're just doing something mundane or boring, you just somehow make the experience fun where people don't want to go home. They don't want to be all alone after being with you. It's sort of like this bittersweet feeling of, I've enjoyed the time spent with you so much. I've had so much fun that I don't want to go home and be all alone. And now I feel lonely without you when I am home, but I also enjoyed the moment with you. So it's like a bittersweet feeling, if that makes sense. I do think a lot of the times you attract a lot of introverted people your way. I'm not sure why, but I'm seeing that. Ace of Swords reversed. The Five of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like they really feel your absence with the Five of Pentacles. The Lovers. Some of you could be Geminis, or I just feel fire sign energy. I know Pentacles cards are here in the Hermit, so maybe also Virgo, but I mostly feel fire sign energy and air sign energy in this pile. So maybe you attract a lot of earth signs to you. I don't know, but just let me know. And we have Death. So I also feel like when people end relationships with you, they miss you a lot. And it's like they know maybe sometimes they can never go back and create that same connection with you, or sort of find you in another person, because you're one of a kind, you're very unique, pile number 2. So it's almost like when people end relationships with you, they really feel your absence, they miss you, they overthink about you, they overthink like, am I ever going to get a chance to speak to them again? Am I ever going to get a chance to see them again? Am I ever going to meet anyone like them again? Which, no, they won't, because, like I said, you're very unique and you give people unique experiences that they maybe even look for in others after ending things with you. And with the Death card, I do sense that sometimes when people go home, especially like if they are in the new stages of forming a connection to you. So let's say they're in the new stages of forming a friendship to you, or you just went on a first date with them, and now they're scared that maybe you ghost them, or things just end abruptly, or you don't like them. They're kind of wondering, is some kind of connection going to come out of this, or are we never going to speak to each other again? So I don't know if these are just people that have been ghosted a lot, that have been sort of pushed to the side, like they don't matter. I think they've just felt like that a lot of their life. Like they thought they were close to people, and then those people just left them in the past. And they never knew why. So there is something about that coming up. I do also feel like people feel very at peace in your presence as well, especially if they're a type of person that deals with a lot of overthinking, if they're the type of person that self-isolates because they overthink a lot, or because they don't trust people, especially if they have trust issues, and if they've been lied to before, or cheated before, or betrayed before. It's like you somehow just make them feel calm and safe and make all the worries go away. You're like a chill pill in human form. I don't know why Spirit is telling me that as a joke, but you are. That's just what I heard from Spirit. I feel like with the Hermit reversed, even people that self-isolate or don't like to be around people a lot, are very introverted. They want to spend a lot of time with you. I think this came up in another reading when I said something like you're their exception. So I don't know if I'm picking up on a specific person that's quite introverted, that doesn't even really like people that much, but when it comes to you, you're the exception, or if it's just multiple people that you've encountered where they don't really like people that much, but then they like you and they want to spend time with you. They prefer their alone time, but then with you, you're the exception. So I am seeing a message like that here. I do also think that going back to what I said about people wondering if they're going to see you again, there is something about certain people coming into your life, feeling a sense of liking towards you, whether it be platonic or romantic, or just feeling attracted to you, but then they don't exactly know how you feel. They don't know if you feel the same way about them. And so sometimes they go home and they overthink it. They're like, not that you're making them overthink, but they overthink it like, does pile number one, does pile number two like me back? Do they even want to be friends with me? Do they want to date me? I don't really know. Should I put in more effort? Should I just wait for them to text me first? So I do see that some people could be like that and feel like that about you after seeing you, especially if it's in the beginning stages of the connection. There is also something about you being quite intelligent and full of wisdom, but in a different way from Pile 1, because that came up in Pile 1, but your vibe is coming through as like you've been through a lot of rebirths in your life with the Death card. You've been through a lot of transformations in your life. You've been through hell and back and picked yourself back up and created heaven for yourself. Like, to that extent, you've been through a lot, but you picked yourself back up. You're like the phoenix. You're very strong. You always rise above whatever tries to destroy you. So you have a lot of life experience and maybe even past life experience. Maybe you have a lot of 8th house placements or 12th house placements in your birth chart, but there's something about you having the knowledge and wisdom from the experiences that you've been through. So when people lack clarity of where to go next, what to do next, you somehow just put it into perspective for them, where you simplify it for them wherever they're overcomplicating it with their worries and thoughts and their overthinking, and you simplify it for them so that they can take it in baby steps. So it's kind of like more the type of advice that is, what's the word? It's more palatable to kind of like take in because you put it in small baby steps or a simplified way where they have maybe overcomplicated it and then they realize, oh, my situation isn't that complicated or that hard. Like, I just need to do this to get out of it, or I just need to take it in baby steps here. And maybe I'm thinking too deeply about it. You know what I mean? So there is something about that coming through. So then after that, they feel like a weight is lifted off of them. Like, why was I overthinking so much about this? Why was I making it more complicated than it actually is? Because the answer is right in front of me, but I'm just looking for too many answers and too much information that it's kind of confusing them. So they're thinking like that after they see you. With the Lovers, people also crush on you after seeing you. But again, sometimes they feel like, I don't know if pile number 2 likes me or not. Because the thing is, you might be very friendly to people, but they don't always know if you like them like that or not. Because sometimes you're friendly to people and they think you like them back, but maybe you're just being friendly. I am sensing that for some of you. Sometimes people think you're flirting with them, but you're not, you're just being friendly. And then they mistake it for something more. I do also think with the Death card, some relationships with you have ended very abruptly or have been very intense but ended in some way. And you learn certain lessons from those people, and those people learn certain lessons from you. So maybe I'm picking up on karmic connections you've had in the past where they maybe even still feel your absence and still miss you to this day, but sort of ponder about the lessons you've taught them and how you've helped them transform in some way. So maybe you bring transformations to the people you encounter, and some people you'll just maybe even not encounter them again. Maybe they're just a stranger and you help them in some way. You put things into perspective for them in some way where they transform in their own individual way, and then they think, oh, I think I met pile 2 for a reason that day, even if even if it was just short-lived and I never really got to know them. So yeah, that's coming through. Let's get some more cards. So we have the Hangman in the reverse. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Eight of Wands in the reverse. So Eight of Wands reverse to me represents like people having a hard time moving on from you as you leave their life. I don't know why that's coming through in this reading. It wasn't what I asked for it, but it is coming through. But there's something about that. And I also do feel like you've maybe even had certain people in your life that were meant to learn certain lessons from you, but they didn't want to change or transform. They didn't want to learn those lessons or grow. And so you naturally outgrew them and they were cut out of your life in some way because they didn't want to learn or grow and they didn't want to change something about themselves that needed to be changed, if that makes sense. Not that you're trying to change people, but I hope you get what I mean. So I feel like you're that type of person that doesn't tolerate BS, doesn't tolerate people's things, like where they're just not learning or growing. And maybe you've also had a lot of people that weren't reciprocal with you. And you're a very honest person, but maybe you've also had people be dishonest and move in shady ways. And so you cut people out of like your life like that. And then they can't move on from you and then they want to change after you've left their life to sort of get you back, but that's not how it works. So for you, you'd like to see consistency in the long run, where it's like, I don't think you're that type of person that focuses on if a person likes you. I think you try to think, do I see myself being friends with them long term? Do I see this person having good values, having values that match up to mine? Do I see this person being honest, trustworthy? Do I see this working in the long run? So maybe you're that type of person that's a little bit picky about who you spend your time with, who you let into your circle, because you know your worth with the Queen of Wands. So maybe that is why people often ask themselves, does pile number 2 like me? Like, are we going to be friends? But again, it's because you've been through the life experiences where you know when somebody is aligning to your energy and you can form a relationship to them in the long run, and you know when it's just not going to work out. So then you don't even try if it's not going to work out, if you can sense that. Because your discernment levels are very strong and you have this energy where you know your worth. So you have these high standards to do with your connections. Sometimes people feel like you have high standards that they can't meet, but that just means they're not for you. Because you're allowed to have those high standards and be picky about who you let into your life. That's okay. That just shows you know your worth. It shows you know your value. And if somebody isn't aligning to that, you can't necessarily pretend. Do you get what I mean? So with the Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands, I actually do think a lot of people find you quite attractive, find you quite sexy, and a lot of the times, like I said, people form crushes on you after seeing you, where they sort of like want to be with you romantically or sexually. I am seeing that with the Ace of Wands. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but I am seeing that. So yeah, I sort of see some people getting very infatuated by you after seeing you. I also do think people are excited to see you again because, like I said, you give off this vibe where like you make people have a lot of fun with you whenever you're around them. So then they get excited to see you again with the Ace of Wands. A lot of the times people really like you. I think most people do like this pile, but I think you're the one that has those high standards up when not everybody gets to have access to you unless they prove that they're deserving of it. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way, but I hope you get what I mean. It's about protecting your peace. So with the Ace of Wands, a lot of the times people are quite excited. A lot of the times with the Knight of Pentacles, they want to have that long-term connection with you. They see themselves being friends with you for a long time. They see themselves dating you for a long time. That's what I see with the Knight of Pentacles. They see you being consistent, a consistent person. So there's something about them wanting that connection with you. There's a feeling here of desire, but not just a feeling of like, I desire to date you, or I desire, like, something like that. But there's a feeling here of I desire a connection with you, or something with you, or this to go further. So that's what people feel after seeing you. And like, I can't wait to see you again. When am I going to see you again? Kind of energy. So this is what I have for you, pile number 2. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number 3s. If you chose this Carnelian crystal with the King of Pentacles, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at how people feel after seeing you. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you enjoy tarot content and if you want to stay up to date with what I post daily, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button. Also, if you'd like to book a reading with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. So I do have a limited amount of space for personal readings this month. So let's see what comes up in your card. Spirit guides of pile number 3s. Spirit guides of pile number 3s. How people feel after seeing them. So we have the Temperance card. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Nine of Wands. And we have the Four of Swords. Okay, the Ace of Cups is at the back of the deck. So firstly, I feel like you're very intimidating, but not in a bad way. So what I am picking up on is, in terms of the way people see you, I saw the Queen of Pentacles was also wanting to come out. So there's something about like people seeing you as quite successful in some way. They see you as somebody that has your life together, that has taken a long time to get where you are today. Maybe you've gone through a lot of challenges to get where you are today. And it doesn't necessarily have to be career success, but it looks like you just have your life together, you have your ish together, you look very put together most of the time. And a lot of people feel intimidated by that because they view you as quite perfect in some way. I know most of you probably don't see yourself as perfect because perfect is impossible, but it's kind of like people just see you as perfect. People see your life as perfect. So sometimes they want to be around you, but they feel intimidated by you. They feel like, oh, would pile number 3 even like me? Because I only have this and this and this, and they are so put together and they seem like they have their life together. So would they even like me? Would they even think I'm smart? Would they even think I'm intelligent? Because there's something about people seeing you as intelligent, so they don't want to look dumb in front of you, if that makes sense. I don't know what that's about, but there's something about that coming through. It's not like an insecurity you bring out in them, but it's like they want to be liked by you. They want to impress you. And so they try their best to impress you. But sometimes if they try too hard, you can sort of see that they're trying too hard and then they fall flat on their face, metaphorically. So there's something about that coming through, but then you're also quite mysterious to people, where sometimes they feel like they can't quite figure you out. And then they sort of like go on this wild goose chase trying to figure you out, trying to sort of pick your brain and understand you. So I do feel like people feel they connect to you on an intellectual level. They feel like they're very inspired by the way you do things, by your talent. They think you're very talented. They think you're very smart. So people often connect to you on a mental level where they feel like they're learning from you, like actual knowledge. Where they feel like they want to connect to you and sort of pick your brain and understand the way your mind works, what your opinions are, what your perceptions are of things. it's kind of like people want to get deeper with you, but then sometimes there's a little bit of a wall up because maybe you're that type of person that takes your time getting to know people. Like maybe you're that type of person that doesn't go too deep too quickly unless you fully know a person. So with temperance, people need to have patience with getting to know you. They need to take it slow to be able to get on that level with you, right? Because for you, relationships are built on reliability and consistency of whether you can see this is gonna work out in the long run. You need to get to know a person like really slowly and feel like you can trust them and rely on them in some way in order to find them as a friend or someone you want to date, if that makes sense. So there's something about that coming through where some people feel like fastening up the pace, but then you want to take it slow, and then they wonder, like, does pile number 3 want to be my friend or not? Because they're taking it really slow. So then sometimes it confuses them, but it's not bad to take it slow with people. I think people just maybe need to learn to have some patience there because things shouldn't be rushed, especially relationships. That's just my opinion though. But yeah, something about that's coming through. So I guess the way people feel from that is they feel like impressing you. They feel like sort of making themselves look better. I see people sort of trying to make themselves look better physically when they're around you or when they know they're going to be around you. I see them trying to sort of think of what will I say to impress pile number 3 but not make it seem like I'm trying to impress them. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's a feeling, but you bring out that energy within them. I think you are that type of person where people think sometimes because you have the sense of stoicness. Like, I don't know if some of you have like a resting bee face or you just have a straight face most of the time, unless you're really smiling or laughing. Like, you're not smiling everywhere you go. That's what I feel from this pile. So then sometimes people wonder, like, does pile number 3 like me or not? And then they kind of get a little bit confused, but not because you don't like them, but because they're wanting to see certain emotions from you too fast, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense with the way I'm speaking. It's like I'm seeing the visions, but sometimes I don't know how to articulate what I'm seeing or the energy I'm seeing. So I hope that makes sense. A lot of the times people want to talk to you and they see you as someone valuable to have around them. They see you as someone with a lot of knowledge. They respect you a lot of the times, look up to you. And a lot of the times they see you as somebody that can help them in some way through challenges. And not necessarily from advice, but maybe they think that you have security of your own. A lot of the times people do feel happy being around you, even though you have this sense of stoicness in your facial expressions. But like when you actually get to know people and get closer to people, they see that you're actually not that serious of a person and they have a lot of fun with you and they sort of feel very carefree around you. I do feel like maybe you attract certain people that love physical affection and like want to hug you all the time or want to be close to you all the time physically and affectionately. I hope that makes sense. Also with the Knight of Cups, I do think people wear their heart on their sleeves for you, whether it be romantically or platonically, where they almost like want to chase after you with the Nine of Wands because maybe you're challenging to not challenging to form a relationship too, don't get me wrong, but like I said, you take your time getting to know people and some people wear their heart on their sleeve for you pretty quickly and like want to give their heart to you instantly, and then they feel this need to chase after you. I hope that makes sense. So that's what I see with the Knight of Cups. Also, a lot of people just feel at peace around you with the Four of Swords. It's like even when they're going through very hard things within their life, somehow you just make them feel at peace. You make them feel very grounded. And people think you're very down to earth, very much like you just get them and understand them and they can just be around you, and there isn't a feeling of judgment here. I do also think you have a way of making people feel free. I'm not sure why, but that's what I'm seeing. I do also see that sometimes people feel like their life is a movie or like a musical after being around you. I don't know what that means, but I'm hearing that. It's 11:11 on the clock, so maybe that's a confirmation. So, for example, I'm seeing someone go home and then listen to a song, and then now that song will always remind them of you because they listen to that song after seeing you, and now every time they hear that song, it will remind them of you. So maybe you have something about you where after people go home, they'll have certain things that remind them about you and make them smile a little bit inside whenever they see that thing or hear that thing that reminds them of you. Let's say you talk about a specific movie, series, a book, and now they go home and see that series or book, and even if you don't see them 9 years later and then they see that book, it reminds them of you. You have that tendency to stay in people's minds even after your relationship has ended, through little reminders of you, if that makes sense. There's also something about people missing your scent when they go home or when they're no longer around you. So I don't know if you just smell really good, but there's something about missing your scent. Also, when I look at this Four Swords card, I don't know why, I'm just kind of getting the image of someone like lying in hospital and you bringing them flowers. I've never gotten that vibe from this specific Four Swords. I've always gotten like Sleeping Beauty vibes, but I don't know if one of you has visited somebody that was in hospital and you made them feel like you really cared about them by visiting them, or that could just be a metaphor when people are at their lowest, maybe you're there for them, you show up for them in some way, and then you make them feel special, like you really care about them. I do also think that maybe a lot of you have love languages of acts of service or quality time with people or just like talking to people a lot. So when you are showing those love languages you have, it does make people feel special. So, for example, if you have the love language of acts of service and you do something small for the people you love, like it does make them feel special. If you have that physical quality time, love language, it's like when you're spending time with people or talking to them a lot, they feel special and like loved by you in some way because maybe they know that's how you show your love. I'm also seeing gift giving, but mostly the physical, not physical touch, the quality time one and the acts of service one. I know I mentioned 4, but there's a lot of you watching. Okay, let's get some more cards. So we have the King of Swords. Yeah, people like connecting to you on a mental, intellectual level. They like speaking to you. They like hearing your opinions of things. Yeah, they want to get to know you on that level. The Chariot. How do people feel after seeing pile number 3? Even with the Egyptian pyramids here, you know how like the pyramids are such a mystery where to this day, people still don't know who built the pyramids. It's like you're that mystery to people. Where they want to read the whole book of you, of your mind, metaphorically. But even after they've read that book, they want to read between the lines and understand everything about you. So again, you're a mystery here. We have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Devil. That's so weird that when I pulled this card, the light flickered, but I don't feel like it's a scary energy. What I do feel, because Judgment is in reverse at the back of the deck, I do sense that, okay, when people wrong you and hurt you in some way, they know what they've done wrong. And then sometimes they try to run away from you and hide what they've done. I don't feel like this is a spiritual energy, but a physical energy, since we're talking about people, right? So sometimes when people wrong you and they know they've wronged you, they try to pretend it didn't happen. And they know you know, but you probably don't say anything. Maybe some of you call them out, but maybe some of you just leave like you already know what you've done. Why do I have to tell you why I'm leaving? You know what I mean? And then they feel pretty embarrassed. I don't know why that's coming through, but it is. A lot of people want to spend like a whole day with you. They don't want to just spend 20 minutes with you. They want to spend their whole day with you. That's what I feel. So I don't know what feeling that would be. Maybe longing for you. I also feel like a lot of people look for your validation. I'm not sure why. What feeling would that be? I don't know. Also, there's something about people finding you quite sexy with the devil, and it's like they find your mysteriousness and your intelligence sexy. And the way you just look like you have your ish together. And it's not even about like working so hard or anything like that. I feel like maybe you're that type of person that works smarter, not harder, that believes in consistency. When you're consistent towards your goals, you will eventually achieve it. You're bound to achieve it. So maybe you're that type of person. And I think a lot of people do sort of want to get on your level. So what feeling or emotion would that be? I think admiration and inspiration, but it's more than that. It's like I want to get on your level. I want to learn from you. I want to take what you've done and learn from you so that I can get there too. It's more than just inspiration. It's like looking up to you in some way. That's what I feel I want to say. So these are the kind of emotions and feelings you bring out of people after seeing them. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.